Yo, and welcome back to Semen Retention. Let's go! So, look, all-time high. I reckon that was an all-time high note for me. I reckon that was the highest note I've ever hit. But anyway, that's what we're talking about today. It's the all-time high on semen retention. In my case, it's semen retention. To all my brothers out there on semen retention, I hope you're still holding on. I know I've been gone for basically a week. Look, I've been going through a bit of a week where I just wanted to sit and think. I just wanted to be internal for a change. I just wanted to be more kind of an observer rather than a creator. I wanted to be a consumer rather than a producer. I wanted to really listen to what other people were saying and also listen to what I heard around me. Observe how I felt. I needed to go internal rather than just push stuff out there on my channel. Of course, now I've got newfound energy. I've got this whole new kind of level of understanding certain things that I want to bring to this channel. So it's important for me to come into this fresh and rejuvenated. As you can still see, I've still got the glow, still looking pretty fresh. It's just the effects of semen retention, bro. That's all it is. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I'm holding onto my seed. We're coming up to 14 months in a couple of weeks, and then this is how we go. You know, it's pretty crazy like that. But that's what happens when you're on this semen retention kind of time. But yeah. Anyway, so sorry, I'm just driving and I need to try and do a U-turn, but it's not going to happen. Anyway, so basically, what I want to talk about today is an all-time high. That's what semen retention puts you on, that all-time high. In stock markets or cryptocurrency, whatever you call it, an all-time high is the highest price that has ever been, okay? So let's say Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin had an all-time high week. Bitcoin hit $112,000 in the US currency, which is an all-time high for Bitcoin. To be honest, I don't really obsess too much about that kind of stuff. It's just interesting to see what can happen with these share prices and things can hit an all-time high. On semen retention, your value is going to hit an all-time high. There's no doubt about it. The thing about the all-time high is that it's a cultivation of the new shining, glowing version of yourself coming to the surface. Just as the sun shines on me right now, it reflects the light upon me, which makes me look like I am glowing. The sun is providing that energy, it's providing that source, it's providing that light, that luminescence, that enlightenment, that power, that energy, that, whatever it is, So what we've got to do is we've got to go on semen retention and cultivate that energy until we get that new all-time high. So a lot of you actually kind of peaked when you were 16, 17 years old. And I say that with confidence because I did the same when I was that age. It wasn't until I was probably about 19, 20 years old that I started to really screw my life up, because I started to fall into peer pressures, the traps of the matrix, all the other BS that they put us through, and we put ourselves through. We got to take accountability here, guys. We're not going to be a bunch of victims and cry ourselves to sleep, all right? That's not what we're about, okay? We got to take the blame for our own shame. That's the name of the game, you lame. Anyway, so what I'm talking about here is the all-time high. We once lost that value. We used to have it. We were continuously peaking. When we were just going through our first phase of puberty, going into adulthood, we were hitting all-time highs all the time. I don't know about you, but at least I was. I was achieving a lot of cool things. And it wasn't until I started this semen retention streak that now I'm hitting up to 14 months and I'm like, whoa, I'm really hitting new highs, higher highs, really high highs actually. And my lows are higher than my lows, if that makes sense. So if we go back to the analogy of a stock market kind of graph or a chart, let's say Bitcoin hit $112,000 $100,000 US this week, okay? Let's say its new low this week will be $90,000, okay? It's not going to dip down to $40,000. It's going to stay around $80,000. You know what I mean? So the whole point is that the low is now, your lows are higher than what your previous highs were. Like, your lows are twice the amount of vibration compared to what your lows were previously. Guys, are you on my wavelength or what? Your lows are no longer lows to what a regular Kuma would think. A Kuma would think your lows are extreme highs. Like, for me personally, I've realized that even when I say, for example, got rejected this week, alright? Basically, I asked this girl out. I was just like, oh, you know, I'm really busy this week. It'd be great for us to catch up in the morning, on the weekend, either on Saturday or Sunday. You know, just catch up, go for a walk, have a coffee kind of thing. And she said maybe. So I was like, read between the lines, just sent her like a piece, you know, it's all good. So basically, you know, I was like, alright, well that's a very polite rejection. But I was basically, in my head, I was like, you know what, I've got to go for this. I've got to at least put myself out there, you know, ask, see what she's like. I wanted to just suss her out in person, and see if she was on my wavelength. I don't like doing these online kind of like interactions that go on forever and then, or you just go straight into that lust-driven kind of BS. I'm not on that wave. I'm not on that frequency of, let's talk about the size of my, you know, let's talk about how, you know, like, I don't resonate with that stuff anymore. You got to be on my frequency, okay? Like, that's what it's about. So I need to understand what your vibration is when I'm in person with you. I'm not here to talk dirty with any female anymore, unless she is actually my partner, okay? That's when we can get, you know, freaky. But the thing is that I'm not talking and putting myself out there on apps and online dating and all that sort of stuff anymore, because I'm just like, it's so fake. It's so manufactured. The conversation's so strategic. It's like you're playing chess or something, yet it's not even smart chess. It's like, it's degenerate chess. Like, you know, it's not chess, it's a mess. That's what it is, okay? So what we got to do is we got to aim for higher highs, okay? We got to aim for these natural higher highs, and through semen retention, we're going to get there easy, bro. Like, easy as, bro. We're always going to be getting new highs on semen retention. So what I'm doing is I am continuing to cultivate my seed, and I'm staying off these lower frequency things, and I'm keeping myself in my energy, and I'm really disciplined right now, okay? Like, I just finished a gig. I played a gig on Thursday, played a gig on Friday, played 2 gigs yesterday on Saturday. That's 4 gigs so far if we're counting, and I played a gig today on Sunday, okay? So I played 5 gigs this weekend, right? I'm earning some money, alright? And then what am I doing right now? It's 4:30 p.m. on the Sunday. I'm driving straight to the swimming pool to do some laps, right? I'm going to do some laps, and I'm going to sit in the sauna, and I'm going to sweat it out, and then I'm going to go home. Maybe I'll play some Zelda or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll read a book. I don't know. But I've worked hard enough this week to not give a flying fruit bat, okay? So what I think about is, I think that this body, this all-time high, it is on the new all-time high standard as well. It's not just an emotional feeling, it's a standard, okay? Look at the way I'm presenting myself. Look at my image, look at my hairstyle, my facial hair, the complexion of my skin right now. If you knew what my house was kind of like and the food that I was eating, you'd understand there's a metamorphosis going on. There's a huge change that's going on right now. I'm no longer the person that I was by far. Like, I don't even think I was the same person a month ago, guys. Like, this is just, it's getting crazy, dude. I'm telling you. Like, you're going to go on the all-time high trajectory and you're still going to dip. You're still going to have dips. You're going to dip. And the reason why we have to have dips is because we got to go inwards again. We got to take a loss. We got to go inwards, reassess ourselves, study ourselves. You know, maybe look at all the poop we need to clean up. Okay? Sometimes we need to understand that we might be a bit too full of poop. Okay? So the whole understanding of that is maybe we need to cleanse some things. Maybe we need to go on a detox. For me, I've been fasting a lot more. I've been fasting nearly every single day. Every single day I think I've been fasting. I don't even know how long this streak is, but I literally haven't had dinner for like the whole week. I haven't had dinner. I've like had breakfast and lunch, and then by 2 p.m. I've just stopped eating. So today I'm gonna have literally no dinner again. In fact, I was meant to get some dinner at the venue, but I forgot to take it with me to take home, and I wasn't going to eat it tonight, but I was going to have it for lunch. But anyway, that's besides the point, so I'm definitely not eating. So what's going on is that this autophagy, the benefits of fasting, just having a clear mind, having like the energy coming into the night time to just kind of like go hard during the middle of the day and get all my workouts, all that kind of stuff done, put in some laps at the swimming pool, go in the sauna, sweat it out, all this sort of stuff, get into my bed and be worked, okay? I want to go to bed feeling worked and my body feeling like it's done its work, okay? The thing is that when you have a stomach full of food and you go to bed, you will be tricking your body into thinking it has more work to do, yeah? So this whole idea of having a big dinner is a load of BS. It's completely wrong. Like, our stomachs are designed to eat food in the morning because that's when our stomachs, like, they activate and then we're ready to go, okay? So just think about that kind of stuff. Anyway, well, let's talk about the all-time high. So in my world, I'm a musician. If you're first time here on Semen Retention, welcome to the channel. Subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. My thing is I'm a musician, yeah. So on Saturday I had some songs to learn because there was a 40th birthday and I wanted to learn some songs from her era, you know what I mean? So I went and learned all these songs and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna up the standard now. I'm gonna learn these lyrics, not just learn the lyrics, but learn exactly the vocal phrasing. I'm going to learn how to pronounce the words. I'm going to learn the slight tuning of the note. These are little 1%ers, and now these 1%ers are turning into 0.1%ers, okay? And I'm telling you, like, this is why we have an elite class on this planet, okay, guys? Is that there's the 1%, and then we've got this 0.1%. And that's who I want to hone in on now. I want to hone in on the 0.1%. I know who the 1% are. So, like, when it comes to like getting into this higher energy, we need to hone in that all-time high. We're on that all-time high. Well, we got to hone in. We got to be even higher with our accountability. We got to be even higher with our responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. With an all-time high comes an all-time responsibility to maintain that high frequency. So even if you dip, it's inevitable. We have to dip. We have to sleep. We have to fall. We have to regenerate. We have to recharge. We have to, cleanse, detox, purify, eradicate, destroy, in order to create, in order to build, in order to grow, in order to get higher in this frequency, okay? So it's all part of this semen retention journey, and I want you guys to really think about, like, what is an all-time high for you? Think about moments in your life that you could define as an all-time high. I've got plenty of moments. Probably, like, if you can, try and put them all into the top 5. Okay, limit to that. Okay, and just think about who were you when you were doing that? Let's use one of my all-time highs as an example, because I mentioned the age of 16, 17, alright? So a lot of good things happened around that age for me. So when I was 17, I had a lot of good things happen in my music world. I got to sing in a stadium and was broadcast on TV and had this really cool experience working for this big production. And I was like a lead vocalist, so I was like, you know, had my own song that I sung on television with an orchestra and stuff. So I was all dolled up, I was all, you know, had makeup on and all these kind of like, you know, things. And it was a really cool experience for me, right? And that was an all-time high. If I look back at what I was doing then, I was already naturally practicing semen retention because I wasn't into porn at that age. I wasn't into that crap, okay? I wasn't doing any of that crap. So, what did I do? Well, I was vegetarian. I was vegetarian for a long time. From the age of 15 through the age of like 18, I was practicing vegetarianism. I was also going through a spiritual awakening. I was just figuring out the world. I was figuring out chakras. I was figuring out synchronicities. I was going through my awakening. Very young age, I realized that not a lot of people have had awakenings at that age, and I guess that's why I'm like basically alone. Is that like, you know, I'm already like decades ahead of most people. But like the point is that I was already on this frequency. I was already on this high level frequency. And I had the all-time highs of that experience, that production experience. And then I also had a band as well that was doing pretty good as well. Okay, so you got to realize that when you're riding that high frequency, basically what's going to happen is you're going to have continuous all-time highs. And it's going to be concurrent is the word. You know, so basically what happens now is you're going to have new highs after new highs. So Bitcoin hitting 112k, but before then it was 110k or something like that. And then before that it was 100k. So like the point is that it's still on a bit of a streak. It did dip down, but it's still going up. Now the same thing goes for your own trajectory on semen retention. I've just hit on new all-time highs with my music career. I'm a full-time musician. I'm living life. I'm killing life, bro. Look, people don't like me because they're jealous of what I'm doing, alright? That's where you want to be at when you're on your grind on semen retention. You want to be in a position where people don't like you because they're jealous of you. And then you're going to have the people that understand your frequency, the people that are on trajectories, the people that like positive trajectories. They're the people that are going to be rooting for you. They're the people that are going to be energized by your progress to become something more, okay? And the reason why you will have the haters though is because you're going to be hitting new highs and they're just going to be sitting there like, yeah, but he's a loser though. He's like, no, he's a loser. I remember him being a loser. I just saw quadruple 4. I just saw 4 4s, guys. The universe is talking to me. So I'm just sitting here thinking, alright, now these people are going to have to witness me continuously climbing higher and higher. And do you expect me to come back down to your frequency and, you know, respect you? I don't respect you. I've already transcended that level of respect. You know those kind of people that kind of walk into a house and don't rub their shoes at the doormat and leave dirt all around the house, and you're just like, I don't respect that person. Whereas someone that wipes their feet on the doormat and takes their shoes off at the door and walks through your house and leaves it sparkling, you can respect someone like that. But why are you going to respect someone that didn't give you that proper respect in the first place, especially when you've already transcended that vibration? So I'm going to leave it at this. We're at nearly 20 minutes. look, all-time highs is going to completely change your trajectory on semen retention. Alright guys? Anyway, so if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, Semen Retention, and check out my other videos. I'm going to be doing a live stream this week as well, so stay alert for that. Maybe even tomorrow morning in Australian Eastern Standard Time, like 4 a.m. See how we go, so see what happens. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Catch you boys.